All right. First off, thank you all for coming very, very much here to celebrate and remember Sara. And thank you very much for being here. It means a lot to her family. It means a lot to her friends. On that note, I think it's a testament how many lives Sara touched by how many people are here tonight. And not only that, how many people are here. I know most of you, but I don't know all of you. And I think that's wonderful because she touched so many people in so many different groups, so many different ways, and she had phenomenal friendships with so many of you. And we're here to talk about that real quick. I'm going to start off, and then Eugene's going to say some words, and then I think Jess, I'm not sure, we might have some other people, but then I'd like to give everybody a chance if they want to say a little something, you can. I also want to remind everyone that downstairs by the pool tables, there are memory books and heart cards for you to write notes on and put in the memory box or to sign in on the book. And I know that that would be something meaningful. Also, when we wrap up here, you don't have to leave. We can just, if you want to stay for Ages Night, you can. That's not, don't feel like you have to leave. Now, before I get too off track, I actually have some notes. I need notes. We forget things. Exactly. Are those like strobing on purpose, Max?
No, I clicked what I thought was a solid, now I fixed it.
Okay, cool. It's fine. Just a little blinding. So, we all know Sara as a friend of ours. Others know her, as a wife, as a mother. She was a lot of things to a lot of people. And as such, it's really hard to say that she was just one thing because she was so many things to all of us. And I know that she wasn't exactly fond of excessive planning, so this may be a little haphazard, and I apologize for that, but I know that she didn't like it when things got too organized. And that's going back to, I remember her days with planning different events for the Hellcat dancers and stuff like that, and all sorts of, also her birthday party. We would do her birthday party every year, the Naughty Schoolgirl Night. And if it was getting too organized, she would get upset with me. She's like, no, we'll just play it by ear. We don't need to organize it that much. We just need a rough outline. And so, as a result, this is sort of more of a rough outline of what I think she might have wanted. And just wanted to let you guys know that. I've been looking at all the pictures here, and one of them, I think, is from her wedding. And I was actually talking with a friend about when she got married to Ed out at the place, and I was talking with my friend, and they said, wasn't that like the Harry Potter Academy or Hogwarts or something? And I'm like, no, it was called the Wizard Academy, but yes. And I think it was actually like some sort of, it was beautiful. It was a wonderful, picturesque landscape. Got married, little chapel there. It was really beautiful. She was wearing a beautiful dress, which I think is on some of the pictures that we've used and things like that. But I remember us joking that she got married at the Wizard Academy, and I still think that's kind of fucking funny. So, who all do you know gets married at the Wizard Academy? So, it's nice to know. She meant so much, and it's really hard. Sometimes you don't notice how much someone was a part of your life until you acutely feel their absence. And I realize how often I miss her coming by with all the girls to come dancing one night, and them having a good time, and getting out there on the dance floor and basically taking over the request list whenever I was DJing. So they would just tell me what I was playing, and I was like, okay, I guess this is what I'm playing now. So that was wonderful and charming. I miss her bringing up random new people who were at the bar, and she's like, oh, I just met so-and-so. You should meet them, blah, 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 blah. And I didn't realize how much I missed that until it hasn't happened for the last couple of weeks. And like I said, you don't notice it until you recognize the absence of something. But she was wonderful. She was determined. She was hardworking. I think the entire time, all of the 15, 16, 17 years I've known her, I think she always had like 2 jobs or something. Like she was constantly working. She was constantly taking care of stuff. I remember when Ed had his heart attack, what an advocate for him she was being in terms of his health and taking care of him and everything that she did to take care of that. And not only that, also being an advocate for, for him DJing here. I remember her basically telling me that he was going to DJ the Empathy Test Tour when they played here. So. And I was like, yeah, okay, you're right. Yeah, you're right. She talked me into it. So. Because that's what she did. She could talk you into things. So, but I just want to thank you guys all for being here. And I just want to share a couple of moments about the Sara that I knew and what she meant to me. And I'm going to turn it over to Eugene now. Thank you guys so very much.
Good evening. Thank you. I'm really upset that I'm here. But at the same time, I'm glad that it's here of all places. And I'm glad that all of you are here to share with me this experience. I came to Austin about 14 years ago, and one of the first people I met was Ankh, and one of the first people he introduced me to was Sara and Ed. And I still remember the first conversation we had, and it was about Ed's Robert Heinlein books getting soaked because of a water leak. A water heater or something was on the windowsill, and he lost all of his Robert Heinlein books. And I love Robert Heinlein, so that was worth remembering. And a lot of my memories with Sara, Ed was there. And she was such an integral part for me meeting other people here and making Austin feel like it was home. After I'd lived in 13 other states, I felt like this was where I wanted to be, and this is where I should be. And she was a big part of that. And it's hard to believe that, it was 14 years ago that I met her right there on that patio out front. And the reason I'm glad that we're here, of all places, is because so many of my memories with her happened here. Now, of course, we did a lot of socializing outside the club, which is great. I encourage it. But felt like a lot of the really important things that happened between her and I, or the things that I experienced, happened here. This is also where Ed and Sara met for the first time, through a random photo that was taken, that they were both in. And they didn't know each other at the time. And that random photo taken here at the club, in the back, ended up in them being married for all those years. And the wedding reception that they had was right here at the club. And so many of you that are here tonight were at that wedding reception with me. And the last time I saw her was here at Tanya and Jason's wedding. And the last time I spoke with her was right there at the corner bar. And I had my brother and I had to leave early. But we hugged and said goodbye, just like you say goodbye to anyone. I didn't know at the time it was going to be the last time I said goodbye. And I think, you know, as you kind of weave your way through the lives that you have, the most important thing is the relationships that we build. And I felt like I had a really good relationship with her, as I do with a lot of other people. But when I started to think about how much I actually did with her, it became a pretty staggering amount of time. But I think the thing that really strikes me the most when I think about her is when Ed had his heart attack. And I would check in on Ed. I would swing by the hospital. I forgot what was going on at work, but I was in a position where I could swing by and see him every day. And the first time I went in to see him, his hospital gown was down, and written on his chest was, "Do not replace with a potato." And you know, it really struck me at the time. But here's a guy going into a life and death situation, and his support network was so incredible that he could joke about it. And you know, so I see Ed, and he's on his bed, and I look, and there's the couch, and there's there's Sarah sitting there with Ed's mom on the couch. And every time I went to see Ed at the hospital, Sarah was there. And you know, you have these life-defining moments where you really take a measure of the person. And that first visit I had in that hospital room was where I figured out what Sarah's true character as a person is. And it really touched me then, and I think about it now. And I'm glad I have that memory, and I'm glad that I could see that. And the support didn't end, you know, after the hospital. You know, she was, the support continued when they got home and he was recovering. And John mentioned this. Sarah routinely had 2 or 3 jobs at the same time. She was just non-stop working. And she had the integrity to just know when to get her hands dirty and know when she had to step it up. And she did a lot. And, you know, even while she was working the 2 to 3 jobs, you know, Ed would be doing, you know, later Ed would be doing his online DJing. And every time he did his online DJing, Sarah was right there next to him. And the only time that she wasn't next to Ed doing his, was when she was behind Ed cutting my hair. So, because for some reason I like to get my hair cut while he was DJing. So I would show up and get my hair cut and get my brother Matthew's hair cut while Ed was DJing. And then she got done with the haircuts, she went right back down to sit next to Ed. And it was always just reassuring to me whenever I would go to the live feeds and see her, you know, just right there, you know, the trustful companion. So Sarah's favorite things, according to her journals, were Ed and Richie. And I think that speaks volumes. You know, it wasn't a car or some material thing, but it was people. And I'm really happy that, you know, she could be married to one of those favorite things, and then the other favorite thing was her child. And I think that's kind of the goal, you know. And of course she loved dancing, and she loved her plants. Yes. What I thought was really funny was, at one point in time, she decided to watch every Star Trek episode. So, and not just, so she started at the very beginning, from 1966, and watched every single episode of Star Trek. And what was really funny was, Ed and Sarah were asking me about other things that they should watch, and I said, well, you know, these guys did this, they basically did this thing called Star Trek New Voyages, where a bunch of people basically did a whole production for the unused scripts. And they're hour-long episodes, and she watched all of those too. She just, so I always thought it was incredible that she could actually sit through every single Star Trek of all time. But at the end of the day, she was still a Star Wars fan, and that's all that matters. You know, and of course she of course loved Harley Quinn, the comic character. So, you know, her online handle in a couple different places was Harley Quinn, and it came from the comic. Some other things that she really liked: loved tacos. I did a Taco Tuesday night with Ed and Sarah, Torchies, that went for about 5 years, I think. And we met for tacos every Tuesday for like 5 years. And a lot of you that are here now were here for those nights. And so when I was thinking about the relationship that I had with her, it struck me that, you know, she literally saw me eat probably 2,000 tacos. And I don't think that's something anyone wants to see, but, you know, she saw it. And she also liked coffee drinks, loved chocolate cake, loved pie, and she liked eggs, and would have omelets for dinner. And I always thought it was hilarious. We'd go out to eat, and she'd get the 3-egg omelet that was on the menu, but she would only have them make it with 2 eggs. And I was like, oh, how can you leave that egg in the kitchen? You know, because I love eggs. But I always thought it was funny that she would order the 2-egg omelet. And, you know, Mr. Rogers, you know, on Good King Friday, said once that, you know, if something is worth feeling, it's worth mentioning. And if it's worth mentioning, then it's worth sharing. And the reason that that's important is because talking with Ed, he didn't understand the full impact of what Sarah meant to so many of you. He understood that she was important. He understood that she was popular. You know, he understood that she had all these great qualities. But the scope, the magnitude of her influence genuinely surprised him. And so, going back to what Mr. Rogers said, I would encourage you, if you have a particular favorite memory, that you share that with him, especially if it's a situation that he might not have been familiar with or something like that. And with that, I'm going to give you one of my memories. So, in my head, I've got these things called perfect memories. And few of you are in them. But I generally don't share them because they're mine. But I do have one with Sarah. And because of where we are, I'm going to go ahead and share that with you. So, a little bit of a setup here. When I would DJ, a lot of times with Ed, we would do kind of off nights where we could get away with a bit more. And even when we didn't do off nights, Ed's last song that he would DJ would always be something for Sara. So it didn't matter what the event was, didn't matter what night it was, what he was doing for the set, his last song was always for her. And kind of taking a cue from that, I basically would just do the last song for me, because there wasn't anyone here for that. And so we were doing an event, and it might have been Thanksgiving night, might have been the day before Thanksgiving, it might have been one of the Christmas Eves that happened on a weekend. But I decided that I was going to play The Hollies, The Air That I Breathe is my last track. And so I started up this track, I ran down, I grabbed Sara from the bar, and then we came out and we slow danced to The Air I Breathe. And of course I started to sing to her, because it's the Hollies, and that's what you do. And, and I just started, if I could make a wish, I think I'd pass. And she started to laugh at me, because how could you not laugh at this, right? And so we did our slow dance to the Hollies, and then the song was over, and then the night was over. But that's always been a memory that I've kept close to me. And I think that's all I've got. I really do appreciate you letting you tell you something about Sara. I think Jessica wants to say some things.
I'm not going to cry.
You got this.
20 years I've been working here. And in 20 years I've seen weddings, children being born, and unfortunately more than my fair share of memorials. Here tonight, this is the largest crowd we have ever had for anybody at a memorial. And I think it's important for us to talk about why. Because when you're talking about Sara Gamond, you're talking about emotion. My moment with Sara. God, 15 years ago maybe, a bad night, feeling incredibly sad, drunk. Being trans in Texas is so hard. And we're talking, and I mentioned I was transgender, and she said, yeah, and? And I went, wait, what? And that's how it was. That's how it's been for the entire time I've known her. That's what Sara did. She made you feel beautiful. She made you feel loved. She always had a, hey beautiful, hey gorgeous, and a hug, no matter what, and a smile. Even when her day was bad. It was, I've never met anyone like her. I've never met anyone who got nicer and more beautiful the more you got to know her. And I can't tell you how much I know everybody misses her, because I see it on all your faces. So I think maybe there's something we need to take from all of this. Because there's folks I haven't seen here in a while, and there's folks I've been meaning to go out to dinner with, and folks I've been wanting to hang out, maybe have a beer with, and I didn't. And I want to change that. Because I really wanted to spend more time with her. And now I can't. So, I don't know, raise your glass for Sara tonight, because we all love her. And that's that. Wickham is going to talk.
Ed, would you like to come up and say a few words?
No.
Okay. That's fine. It's cool.
No, you guys know me. You know I hate talking on the microphone, but I've gotten a little bit better at it.
Hi guys. Hey!
Thank you.
Now it's all weird because my voice is like really fucking loud. No. I've gotten a little bit better at talking on the mic. I've been DJing online quite a bit. As some of you may know, a lot of you don't tune in. Anyways, I just really appreciate y'all being here. When Sarah passed, I came in here the Sunday after, I guess December 10th, maybe 11th. I don't know. A lot of things that happened became a blur. But it did come in, and a lot of people came up to me because it was just sort of an impromptu memorial service for my wife. And I came in and I wandered in just like you come into the club, and it's dark, the lights are going, the music's playing, and all these people just come swarming toward me with their arms outstretched like, it's just like a zombie movie. But I don't have to knock anybody's fucking head off. All I gotta do is squeeze them and they go away. And I got through this horde of people and I got them hugged and my mom was here. And we got my mom walked in, she had knee surgery, she was having trouble walking. I got her in here, I got her sat down and I'm like, you need to go get your drink or anything? She's like, no, I'm good. And so I was like, okay, I've got a moment to myself. And I start walking around the club. And I wander past the bar and I'm thinking to myself, she's not here. What am I doing here? And I'm like, why am I not at home? Why am I not at home with all of our things, you know, the things that she and I share? And I didn't plan any of this. I did say no, but I'm holding the mic. So I'm wandering along, and I get over here to these steps, and I look over, and for those of you who are regulars here, this is their spot. And I walked over here, and she wasn't here. And it just shook me in such a way I was just like, I want to leave, I want to go home. I don't know how to explain it to my mom, who had just got sat down because it was an ordeal. We had to pull up to the front, drop her off, and I had to go find a place to park, come back. A lot of work to get my mom in here because her knee was getting her in so much trouble. And I'm like, and I haven't been here 5 minutes and I'm ready to bolt. You know, because she's not here and I don't feel safe or comfortable because she's not here. But would I feel safe or comfortable at home? I guess not, because she's not there either. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go hit the little boy's room, and then I'm gonna go talk to my mom about it, and see if we can just get the hell out of here. And I went over there and I went down the steps. For those of you who've not been here before, the bathrooms are down that way. But I get down the steps, and they've got a bunch of LED tea lights, like these little bitty fake ass candles. And there's like about 20 of them sitting there on one of the pool tables. And a framed picture of my wife. And someone had brought in flowers from some other event. I mean, they had a display a lot like what's going on throughout the whole building in here tonight, but it was just there. And I looked at it and I was like, she is here. She's been coming here for so long that as long as there's people here that knew my wife, she's here. And after feeling so uncomfortable with her for so long, I was just like, this is home. This is, I mean, I've known this. I mean, I DJ'd here for off and on 28 years. And, you know, it was just, why the fuck have I been coming down here more often? Because these are my friends, my family, the people that I've honestly grown up with, honestly. Holy shit, I didn't plan for this. But I turned around and I looked over here and I swear I saw her. And I walked back over here and she wasn't here physically, but I felt her. And it was just one of the strangest experiences I've had. And, you know, even at home, you know, I don't get that feeling that I get here. And I know that she's still here because each of you carries a little piece of her with you. And I really appreciate that from all of you. Because I don't feel nearly as alone as I thought I would. I don't know how to wrap this up because I didn't plan on it.
We love you, Ed.
Love you, Ed.
Love you, Ed. I love you, Ed.
I really love you. Jason wants to speak. Let me have the microphone.
I don't have a lot to say. I haven't known her very long. Coming here and meeting her, she was, everybody said everything about her that I could have said, you know. She was always respectful. She always shared this bubbly joy about you. You know, if she came to you and looked at you and said hi, it was full of a bubbly joy, and that's how I saw her all the time. She was a bubble of happiness, and she made me and everyone feel so great around her. I can't forget that, you know. She was always respectful, always championing what you are, you know, everything about you, and that was important. That was a part of this place. So like I said, she's here all the time. You know, she is, it was neat because Ed has been part of my life, unbeknownst to him, unbeknownst to me, since at least 20 years ago or so, from another side of Texas, another club, but she was part of him, and she became part of me and part of you, and I think that's really neat. It's just, you know, this is her spot. And like you said, you can feel that, you know. I don't have a lot to say. I have a bad eye, so I can't cry. I have to hold that in. But yeah, it is nice to see everybody out, so many people out that she touched. And if anybody else has something to say, please take this microphone away.
Hi guys, thank you everyone for coming out. It really means a lot. Sarah was one of my best friends in the whole world. 18 years of friendship, I don't know. It's been a long time. And her alter ego was Harley Quinn. Mine is Poison Ivy, and she was the Harley Quinn to my Poison Ivy. I loved her so much. I remember going to New Orleans with her, Stephanie, and Nicole, and I wanted to surprise everyone with a tour of this certain cemetery. So I told her, like, it's called, just tell me how to get there. And I surprised them all with this tour of a couple cemeteries together. For a while, Sarah, Ed, Wade, the kiddo, and I were all roommates. And my bedroom window faced their window. And sometimes at night, we would wave each other goodnight as we got ready to bed. It was silly times. I remember one time for one of the fashion shows they used to do, the all shapes, all sizes, I had belly danced and I brought my snake in. And so at the end of the night, all the girls were taking off each other's makeup. And me and, of course, Sarah were taking off each other's makeup. And my snake was wrapped up in my head because he likes the warmth. And he eventually would come out, and he went up to her face, and she just kind of leaned in, like loving it, because she loved all animals, like me. I remember her sugar glider Mischief, when we lived together, Ed would bring out his clothes, and the sugar glider would jump to the clothes paper. So we would sit there passing around the clothes to watch this little sugar glider jump, and sometimes just kind of flop. I really didn't have anything planned either. I just wanted everyone to know that I loved her so much, and her kid is my nephew, and she was one of the most amazing people in the world, so sweet. She supported me going to college when I couldn't come out a lot because I was studying. She supported me going back to HEB and coming a florist again. And I'm gonna miss her, but I know she's always here without all of us. And I don't know what else to say now.
Would anyone else like to say anything?
Sure.
Please?
I'll make this short. The only thing I want to share is anytime she would greet people, like you'd come out to the club or whatever, and she would see you, it was the one thing she always said. And the thing is, I can't hear anyone say this word without hearing it in her voice. She'd hug you and she would say, "Hi, honey. How you doing, honey?" And she says, "Honey." So I can't hear someone call someone else honey. Honey, hi, honey, without it being Sarah's voice. So next time you hear someone say honey, hear honey.
So, first and foremost, Rose, the flowers look beautiful.
They do.
We talked about that last week. Thank you so much. We've heard from management at Elysium. We've heard from crew at Elysium. We're going to hear from the door staff real quick. There was a code word that we would use at the door on occasion. The girls are here. Sarah, Casey, Rose, Nicole, a couple others on occasion, but we would know the girls are here. Okay. We might have an eye roll with it, but it was always met with love. Because no matter where I've been in my life, this place is family, and the people that come in here, you're all family. Even if I've never met you before, welcome, because you are connected to Sarah in some way. And so we love you. We welcome you. Tonight is 80s night. There's going to be a dance party going on here in what, an hour or so? 30 minutes. We're going to be quick. Todd needs to dance. And we all need to dance. And tonight I invite everyone, this area here, come dance here, dance with Sarah, dance with her tonight. Because she is here and we are here in love. And I love you all. That's it. Hi,
Hello, everyone. I'm still upset.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I've been in a really bad depression over this. Several things have happened to me in my lifetime. My mother died at the age of 32. She was 32. My sister died at the age of 40. My best friend earlier this year, last year, died of a brain tumor, goes in Friday. And of course, unfortunately, I got the news about Sarah. Let me kind of tell you what kind of impact she means to me. I know everyone's talking about, her happiness and everything. Sarah was tough. She told you the truth in a straight line. The first time I met her, she said, "I heard about you." I said, "Oh yeah." "You didn't dance with anyone?" I said, "No." She said, "You're gonna dance right here with me tonight." I was like, "What?" And I was really shocked. I've been dancing for 35 years. And she was bold up front. And I was like, okay, and anyway, like my short reason I just first said we're in a hurry. You know, we hit it off, told her about my kids, family, told about her wonderful family, loves her husband and her child. Up front, he goes, you know what? She goes, I like dancing. We love dancing. We talked about all the dance clubs and burned up dance floors right and left. Trust, friendship. She's one of the few people who actually called to check on me. We talked about our, our issues in life, but the main thing we talked about is loving our family members, being strong and being tough. I'll kind of give you an idea. Generally a lot of people don't tell me what to do. But like this, there's a handful of women in my life I've met that I'm scared of. Like, hey, you better do it. True story, nobody already knows about this. So we were like, I'd say, hey, are you up to anything or whatever after the club closed? Every so often we'd skip over to a different dance club. The Oven. It's a true story. I'll never forget. She we're dancing, dancing right and left, and someone bumped. This person bumped into Sarah. Because not like Lisa never know her. And this girl turns around, apparently, and says something to her, and her boyfriend comes up, and someone else. And they're all standing there. And Sarah's looking at them, she screams at me, Todd, get over here! And, I had a show on my own, people cheering. I heard her voice, I snapped to attention, I went full dance spin and ran right over, and everybody freaked out. Because they thought, she didn't have any backup. And I showed up and everyone freaked out. They're like, hey, I said, no. I won't tell you what happened next, but guess what? Everything was fine, but her voice commanded attention. So the only thing I'll tell you about her, she's amazing, she's loyal, she's been very good to her friends. And the times that she has been hurt is because she's given so much and it was never reciprocated. If I didn't say that, I'm telling you, I need to say that. And that's very important. Sarah was an incredible giver and super, super loyal. And the thing I would stress again, loved her family and loved her friends, and all she wanted was reciprocal love. She's, to me, a family member. Like I said, there's a handful of people who impacted my life dramatically to check on me. And she's one of the few ever. And so I wanted to know how much love and care and the amount of impact that she left in everyone's lives. I'm not sure if it will be a while before I recover because I'm still in a state of shock. I'm more angry than anything. More than anything else, I'm just angry. But the best thing about it, at the same time, she taught me to be strong. Let me tell you, she said, suck it up. I remember one time I was going through something, she goes, suck it up. Just come on. And I'm telling you, I always appreciate her for saying that, but being a real friend. Sarah was tough and loving at the same time. So I'll leave it at that. Okay?
All right. Is there anyone else?
Hi. Is that
It sounds weird over the mic. You'll work it out.
Hello. Sorry. Oh, I didn't think about what I was going to say before I even got up. I'm just going to ramble, honestly. Hi. I'm the kiddo. Everyone knows me by like 50 different names. You can call me Worm, you can call me the kiddo. My name is Richie. Anyways, Mama was quite literally the best role model I could possibly ever have. I look up to her, literally currently, but I look up to her, and I did every single day of my life, even when I was going through teen angst, and I was fucking pissed at everything. I am bad at holding back emotions. I will cry. Sorry. But every single decision that I made, Mom either told me I was stupid, but then explained why it was stupid and explained how to do it correctly, or she supported me. She supported me my entire life. Every single name change, every time I told her, hey, oh my goodness, I came out to her and she came out to me in the same fucking breath. It was impressive and I loved it. I walked up to her and Ed loves this story. I walked up to her and I was like, hey, how would you feel if I was bi? And she went, how would you feel if I was? And I was like, cool. I got that out of the way. And it was the same when I told her I was trans. I was like, how would you, are you good with that? I'm trans. And she was like, okay. Exactly, same thing. And she always supported everything that I did, even if it was dumb. Even if my outfits were awful in elementary school, and I've got tons of pictures of those, I'm sure you'll see eventually. And just literally everything I ever did, she supported me. And oh, I know.
We all heard about it.
I'm well aware. This club raised me. She took me here, and I see so many of y'all that I have known since I was itty bitty. And I've had so many of y'all come up to me and be like, oh my God, I haven't seen you since you were so small. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I turned 24 in 3 days. It's crazy. I grew up in this club. I grew up in a welcoming and loving environment. And it's so crazy to me that y'all keep on telling me this was her spot, because I never really danced much when I was here because I was little. And then I finally came back after years, and me and my mom did, right here, at the Empathy Test show. It was amazing. I miss her. Obviously, we all do. She wasn't in my life for 6 or something years, and I just got her back. So it sucks that she's not physically here, but she is here in every single one of you. And I'm very happy that I have every single one of you. Oh my goodness, that was loud. We all live on for her. We all live on, and we will dance for her. Anyways. To Mama!
Second. Which name are I calling you today?
Hi. I also didn't have this planned, but I did want to share a very, very, very big impact Sara had on me that I don't think a lot of you really knew she had on me. We've heard from Elysium management, staff, now we hear from Elysium performers. And
That better not be her, did
she was alive still. Bro, don't do that. Actually, you're gonna remember what I'm talking about. Because this happened back, some of you know me as the performer Amelie Amos. That would not exist, actually, without Sara. Let me explain. So when I was first getting started and auditioning to be in a show, Sara and Ed let me audition in their house. I got to practice in front of them. I got feedback, we had fun. I felt amazing support from them, just like I feel from this place and everyone in this room. I wouldn't have the career or community I have without her and without here. So after that night in their living room, I've now performed all over Texas and good parts of the United States. So
Damn right.
Sara has greatly impacted me, not just as a friend, but also professionally. And I didn't realize, I didn't realize until now that, oh, probably very few people standing here know that. And I really wanted you to know that about her and just the level her support could take somebody. So, yeah, I think that's all I have. Does anyone else want this?
Hello. I also had no idea that I was going to speak tonight, and I don't know what to say. There's a lot of you guys here, which doesn't surprise me, honestly. Like, Sarah was amazing. When I first moved to Austin and I started coming on a regular basis, 1 or 2 times a week, Sarah was one of the first people I met. She was one of the first people that danced right here with me, night after night. When I DJ'd, she was on this floor, and when I did photography, she was one of the first people that I ever photographed. So the best times of my life include Sarah right here, and I think that's going to stay for the rest of my life, because it's just, if there's anything I can say, this club and Sarah are all kind of a home. There's a family here, and one thing I know about Sarah, everybody knows, is she loved to dance right here. It's been said like 10 times. And, you know, those of you who stand tonight, and anytime you come here, just, you know, that's the one thing, you know, we all have. And, now I'm rambling, this is hard. And I could have never guessed and never known that the last time I talked to her was going to be the last time. And I've said that too many times, and that's part of life. And all I can say is just, Sarah and all the people in your life, like, hold them close while you're there, because you never know when the last hug's going to be. And every hug is precious. And I miss Sarah, and I love Sarah, like a lot of us do. And I don't know what else to say, but anybody else want to take this?
All right. Does anyone else have anything? Okay. I want to remind you guys, please, eat all the food you want. There is a sign-in book down there. If you guys could sign in or write a note or something so that there will be something, please do that before you leave. Again, you guys are more than welcome to stay all night. You're more than welcome to chill out here. I'm going to let everybody sort of talk to each other and mingle about. If anybody else has anything else to say, you are more than welcome to come up here and say it. Okay? Thank you guys so very much for coming out and hang out here and be with each other and share your memories of Sarah with each other. And even if it's somebody you don't know, just share how you know Sarah and maybe a nice memory, because I'm sure we'd all like to hear different stories from different people that we don't necessarily know. Okay? So we're all here together. Please feel free to talk to each other and share with somebody who might be a stranger, but they're only a stranger by 2 degrees of separation, because you both knew Sarah, okay? So you guys hang out, please sign the book, grab some food, grab some drinks, hang out, dance later if you want to, okay? Thank you guys so very much.
Raise your glasses. Yeah, Sarah.